Welcome to part 5. Reduced libido can cause great distress for couples during the menopause. It is one of the major reasons for referral to my menopause clinic. It can happen in long-term relationships as well as many women who have only been married a short time and their libido has disappeared. This can be for many reasons, so this following presentation aims to look at why this occurs and strategies that can help resolve this. When people are younger, sex drive is often high and an arousal can be very quick. Stimulation can occur within 30 seconds and the woman can have good vaginal lubrication, erect nipples, and orgasm can be reached very quickly. However, as you reach your late 30s and 40s, sex drive gradually is reduced, and by the menopause it can take anything from 15 to 30 minutes to get arousal or to have any stimulation when you do begin having sex. Often there is no desire at all, and this can be very distressing. A number of women may need psychosexual counselling as there may be other major issues that need resolving. But for the majority of women, the following strategies may be helpful. Good vaginal health is essential, and that's on the next slide. When you listen to leading sex therapists, they will use the phrase use it or lose it. And they say treat sex like exercise. Because if you think of sex, it is usually very important in a relationship. Hence you are a couple and not a platonic family member that you're living with. It is useful to think that sex binds you together, keeps both your sexual organs healthy, it is good for the heart, and one partner can feel very rejected and insecure and the other feeling guilty if there is an imbalance of power. So a useful analogy is think of sex as how you would think of exercise. If you start in an exercise, you book in a class and then you get ready to go off, you get going in the class, it's hard work at first, but halfway through you're feeling a bit better, and at the end of the class you're glad you've been and you're booking your next lesson. So you may need to find ways of having foreplay. Remember that very few women actually orgasm vaginally, and you may need to change around the way that you've done things. But as I say, if the perception of sex has become negative and the pressure has become stressful and the imbalance is hard to break, using a mindfulness technique and adjusting the way that you think about it can be very useful. Once hormones have settled down after the menopause, many women find their sex drive has come back again and that it is even better and more fulfilling. Some women feel that testosterone may be essential if they have had HRT and it has not improved libido, and they may feel that a 3-month trial of this would be worthwhile. There are lots of podcasts about menopause, and one called The Happy Menopause has lots of useful advice and information. So to summarise, if lack of libido and sex is a major issue, you may need to have counselling, but other strategies to calm the mind, focus on positive thinking about sex, such as mindfulness, yoga, or a massage, can be very useful to give positive energy to the sexual experience. And don't forget, book it in with your partner and have a regular routine. Vaginal health, whether or not in a relationship, is vital during the menopause. The atrophy means thinning of the walls of the vagina and aging, and it reduces the stretchiness. This affects penetration, whether it be sexual with a partner and causes problems with that, or whether you just need to have a smear test. Painful sex will reduce sex drive and the sexual experience. It will cause difficulty with arousal and reaching orgasm. It can also cause vaginal irritation, itchiness, and discomfort. So with vaginal atrophy, the bladder can also be affected because the bladder also depends on estrogen. So this can cause you to need to pee more often. You can have repeated urinary tract infections, and the peeing is too slow or frequent or urgent. Local estrogen is one of the main treatments for this if you are allowed it. This local estrogen comes in either pessaries or creams, and you need to use them every night for 2 weeks and then 2 to 3 times weekly after that. The pessaries are small little tablets that are inserted, and the cream, if you get the Ovestin estrogen cream, is just a small amount in the applicator. If the atrophy is advanced, it can take 6 to 12 months before you start feeling the benefit of this local estrogen. And it is not something that you stop once you are comfortable, because once stopping, the atrophy will reverse back and start causing a problem again. Also, with the vagina, you need to moisturise it and use good lubrication. Think of the vagina as you do your face. You moisturise your face and you should moisturise your vagina. One of the main products that have been used over the years is Replens, and you insert this in the vagina every 3rd night, and this provides moisture over 2 to 3 days. There are other products that also are used for moisturising, such as the Yes 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 products. They have a good moisturiser. There is also one called Pjur, spelled Pjur, and also Hyalofem, Hyalofemme, Hyalofem moisturisers. And they come in different types, whether they be water-based or silicone-based. So again, use moisturisers regularly and think of the vagina like the face. Then for actual sexual penetration, a good lubrication is very important, because the ordinary sort of KY jelly that can be quite watery might not give a good protection. So you need a thicker base. So again, the Yes product has a good lubricator. If you find that's a bit too thick, you may need to add a little bit of moisturiser to that to make it just the right consistency. Otherwise, there's Astroglide gel that can work to relieve vaginal dryness. So there are many different products available, and finding what suits you. But always give vaginal health top priority, and after the menopause, it's something that needs to be done all the time in the same way that you moisturise your face. Thank you for listening. Please see the useful web contacts for further information and support.